Hey everybody, I'm John and this is Blind Whiskey Reviews. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews, or should I say Blind Rum Reviews, the most honest reviews on YouTube. Today we're reviewing Papa's Pilar, which is a dark rum. So I'm super excited to do that one for you. So let's not wait. Let's get straight to it. All right, everybody, let's get into the whiskey. As always, the color. This one is super dark, incredibly dark. That's definitely that mahogany tone. On the nose. Oh, I don't think this is whiskey. Wow. It is deep, it is dark, it's rich. Big brown sugar, caramel. I got this like rum cake character. Molasses. Kind of buried in the back is some dark fruit. Whew. That is deep and dark. I'm guessing it's a rum, based on the rum cake. If you didn't pick that one up. Let's get a taste. Cheers. Wow. On the palate, similar notes. You got that rum cake, big vanilla on the palate, huge. But the mouth feels really light. I mean, that kind of fits the rum profile. I mean, most rums, it's really hard to find a rum over 80 proof. And this one's feeling like it's definitely in the 80s at least. It's just got so much flavor. That's one thing I'll give rum, is that rum, you can get a ton of flavor out of a lower proof. And I'm not sure what they're doing to achieve that. You know, there's a lot of things in rum. I know not a lot about rum and how the process of how it's made. And I think some people, there's some different rum distilleries do different things to add flavor and color to their whiskey and age and things like that. And I don't know how that whole thing goes. I just know that there's kind of some discrepancies in how that whole thing works. But back to this one. God, the flavors are just so deep and rich. Yeah, a lot of the same. Molasses, dark fruit. It's good. It's very sweet. And I don't know if some of these, I mean, I don't know, do they add back sugar or sweetness to these things? Because it's incredibly sweet for not having a lot of burn on the palate. So, I mean, again, making me think this is I can't see this thing being over 85 proof. Definitely lower proof. There's almost a little touch of like a bitter, woody character on the back. Not much, just a very slight hint. Definitely a little bitterness back there, which actually isn't bad. It kind of helps clear out that very, very sweet character you get on the front of the tongue and the middle of the palate here. When it gets to the back, that sweetness kind of dies down. There's a little lingering bitter quality, which I think does help it quite a bit here. Yeah, just molasses, sweetness, dark sugar. It's good. I'm hesitant to add water because I know it's already pretty low proof, but we'll do it anyways. Didn't change the nose too much. Maybe brought up a little bit of that kind of bitter, woody type character that comes on the back of the palate. Maybe brought that up a touch. Yeah, don't add water to this. The water's not doing anything for it. It kind of muddles what it had before that was good about it. Kind of kills all that. Now it just tastes kind of thin, watery, muddles the flavor. So whatever this is, don't add water to it. It's not helping it. I think it took the proof down a little bit too much. So where it was about probably the lowest proof I'd want to be. I think it's good. Got a lot of flavor. Don't have a ton of experience with rum, so and putting it in the scale of rums, I don't really know. But for me, I'm gonna say it's I think it's good. I'm gonna say it's an 81. I think it's really good. Let's see what it is. It is Papa's Pilar Bourbon Barrel Finish Dark Rum. Well, at least we got the rum. So let me go grab this bottle and we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right, everybody, we just finished the review of Papa's Pilar. This is a bourbon barrel finished dark rum, which has been bottled at 43%, 86 proof. So in my experience, as far as rums go, and I know I mentioned this a touch in the review itself, it's tough to find any rum that's above 80 proof. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is. Almost every rum on the shelf is a straight 80 proof, and there's very few that go above that. There's a few cast strength rums you can find, like Foursquare makes a few, and there's a couple other rums on the shelf that maybe are a few points higher, but for whatever reason, rums are almost all just 80 proof, which is super annoying. This one's a little bit higher, so I'll give them credit for that. Had huge, big, bold flavors, and it just makes me, again, I'm not an expert on the rum process, it just makes me wonder how they do that and what they're doing to get so much flavor out of a relatively low proof spirit at 43% alcohol. The bottle says 24 on it, and I'm not quite sure what that means. It certainly is not a 24-year-old rum. It's the Solera blended in the US, so I would imagine it's the 24th Solera. For those of you that know anything about the Solera process, and I'm by no means an expert, but the Solera process is kind of a process of blending back older whiskeys into newer whiskeys, and it's like a kind of a perpetual process that they continue, and as they move on, like the average age of the whiskey continues to get, or the rum, or whatever the product is, gets older and older and older, but the percentage of the old stuff gets to be teeny, infinitesimal, it gets to be tiny, because you're only blending back, it's almost like they're blending back the last batch of what they're doing. So it's kind of a weird process, and it's a little bit misleading in terms of age, because you can never really tell how much of any age of that spirit is in there. No, I just noticed this. I didn't see this before. This is bourbon barrel finished exclusively for Total Wine. So who knew that? This is the 2018 limited release, sourced from Florida, Panama, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and Barbados. Pot and column distilled, Solera blended in bourbon barrels, port wine casks, and Spanish sherry casks. So maybe that is a good reason why this has so much flavor to it at such a low proof, is they've blended a ton of stuff together. They put a bunch of finishes on it. This one is specifically bourbon barrel finished as a limited release, so I'm not sure if that's not normal for them. And apparently they are inspired by Ernest Hemingway and his passion for adventure in the sea. So that just sounds like kind of like the bourbon MO of grabbing onto some historical character so you can put some kind of historical significance on your spirit. I thought this was good. I thought it was very flavorful, as I talked about in the review. I'm just curious how they get that flavor, and it makes me wonder. But very flavorful, good. Value-wise, I paid $35 for this, so it's a reasonable value, and I'd say it's worth picking up to try if you're a fan of rums and big, bold, dark flavors. Be warned, this one is pretty sweet, so if you don't like sweet spirits, this one might not be the one for you. But it is pretty good. Other than that, I think the bottle's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a pretty cool cork on the top. It's got a chain dangling on it. I like the little kind of squat bottle shape, so that's pretty cool. So anyways, if you're into rum or you like sweeter spirits, give this one a go. It's definitely got a ton of flavor, and it's pretty good. So let me know what you think if you've had any of this Papa's Pilar brand of rum. I've seen there's a few other bottles on the shelf of this guy, so let me know what you think if you've tried it. As always, if you want, follow me on Instagram at blind_reviews. You can send me an email at blindwhiskeyreviews@gmail.com. And until the next time, cheers.